Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Better Savage Lounge. I am your host, the Better Savage, Travis Macklem. Today, I have a special video for you. I recently sat down with the great Anjelica Lynch, who's a good friend of the show and a hilarious personality on YouTube. Check her out. It's Anjelica Lynch. I'll post her links on my social media pages as well as at the bottom of this. Just enjoy the interview. She's smoking her first cigar for the very first time, and she's giving her little thoughts. And this is just our conversation, and just kicking back and enjoying the lounge. So, without further ado, I give you the Better Savage Lounge with Anjelica Lynch.
Okay.
Okay, I think you're recording, right?
Yeah. Avoid legal snags by telling people they're being recorded. Hey, you're being recorded, and so am I hope.
Well, I am so I'm okay with that, I guess.
I guess I'll just put up with that shit today. 1 second.
All right.
Yo, you want to see something really cool?
Yeah.
I totally didn't practice this, but check me out. I'm gonna see if I can do it. You ready?
Yes. You got this. That was really awesome. Failed, Penny.
All right, so we are gonna unbox everything. What am I talking about? Unbox, like this isn't a makeup demo.
Right? It's kind of a makeup demo. No, it's not, right?
This is my very professional unbox. Excuse me. I don't need skincare samples. I was fearfully and wonderfully created. Thank you.
Oh, me too, sort of.
All right. Okay. So we got this nice little guy.
Yep.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, make sure you don't.
Make sure I don't stick my finger in it and go like that.
Yes.
That'd be pretty bad.
It happens. You'd be surprised.
Are you?
I'm dead serious. That happens all the time to people. Because, America.
I can't even America anymore. God. Oh my God. So is this the only kind of cutter that I can get, or are there different types?
No, there are different types. And here, let me set up my camera so I have a. All right. Still coming in clear? Oh, wow. Is your whole tongue in there? I don't think I can do that. I'll definitely close it on myself if I try.
Okay, that was actually that could be a little scary. Actually, I'm not gonna do that.
So what you have right there is actually two different types of cutters in one. The one that you're playing with is the straight cutter with the big hole right there, and that's similar to what this is. This is more of a guillotine cutter because it has like the two blades and on the side. That one only has the one.
Yeah.
The other side is a V cutter, and that's more at the bottom side. And it looks a little bit more like this, where it has the little opening in it, and it gives it for more of a different type of cut on your cigar. And then there is also the punch or bullet cutter, which kind of looks like this. This is actually the cutter part. What you would do is you would take the bottom end of your cigar and you'll actually kind of twist it in, and puts a little hole in there. And they're all just kind of different types of cuts. There's no really right or wrong for doing it. It's just more of a, personal preference kind.
Okay. That was going to be my next question is why would someone prefer a certain kind of cut over another?
Really the only real difference is with a bullet cutter, you want to use a little bit of a longer cigar because of how it goes into it. But other than that, it's really just your preference on how the smoke comes out and what you like. It's not really a thing of, a right or wrong, like, oh my God, you're using a V cutter, you're a monster. But, it just kind of works like that. So,
right, so if I use a D cutter, like it doesn't make me like a freak of nature.
I mean, no more than anybody else, I guess. I actually prefer the V cutters. It gives it kind of a unique cut to it, but it's to each his own. I know a lot of people who they prefer the punch cutters more than anything, and they swear by those. It's just pretty much like I said, you got to try them all and just see what you like.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the cool thing is they're reasonably cheap. I got both of these. And they're called Craftsman's Bench. They're a very good brand. And I think I spent maybe $15 on both.
Oh, wow.
Maybe. Okay. No, I take that back. They were both cheaper than that. It was probably like $8 for both of them.
Wow.
Yeah, that's at like ABC Fine Wine and Spirits or any type of liquor store. A lot of them, any type of one that has a humidor, they'll carry stuff like that. And the dirty little secret that they don't like to tell you is more expensive is not always better.
That is a common misconception that I think people have because a lot of people think, oh, well, this is high priced and so therefore I must be getting more bang for my buck. And
exactly.
I always say, you should try around. I mean, some cheap shit is really cheap shit. And then you have other things that are more reasonably priced but are actually better than the most expensive top shelf.
Right. And the cutter I actually sent you, that's probably a $3 cutter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's functional. It's looks simple to use.
Yeah,
I think even I could do it. I've never cut a cigar before, but
yeah, they're very good. There are also different kinds of cutters that I don't have. I'll probably do an episode somewhere down the line where I can get my hands on all of them and, we'll do them all. But those are the three main ones that people go with. The straight cut obviously being the most popular. And yeah, this is just, honestly, that's why I like doing this. Is not an expensive hobby to have. The cigars, I mean, if you buy them in boxes, they can get expensive. But, even the top 10 list this year that they just released, which a lot of people are unhappy with, the most expensive cigar I think is like a $12 cigar. Like
that doesn't sound expensive because I've heard of cigars costing a lot, like in the hundreds. So
usually for like boxes of them.
Yeah, I'm probably thinking like box prices, but I mean I'm just saying I've heard of that doesn't sound unreasonable.
No, and it's really not. The most expensive single cigar I've actually seen was it's called the Cohiba Spectre.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually heard it's not worth the price. That one is actually $100 cigar, like single cigar. It's like $100.
That better be the best damn cigar. It better be plated in gold and everything. Jesus, not.
It really, really, really cool, but it's not worth it. It's from what people.
Not in the name of Jesus. That is highway robbery.
Yeah. They dress it up in fancy little designs, but what I have for you today, the Rocky Patel Sungrown. Mm-hmm. This is by far one of the best brands you can buy. Rocky Patel has been around for a long time. The guy makes sure his cigars are top notch. He doesn't mess around with them. He's a really good guy, and he wants people to have a good smoke. So, when he pulls out his, yearly cigars out, he makes sure that they're good brands. And the Sun Grown is actually a really good, it's just a really good cigar for it.
I like just the title, Sun Grown. Like, it really makes you think like it's good. Like, a lot of work went into crafting it.
And
just
they
by
do.
the name.
Oh yeah, they're very well done. They're aged. I don't know exactly how long this one was aged, but it's got a good age on it. It's from Honduras, which is probably one of the better cigars. Yeah, go ahead and unwrap that and give it a little smell.
I like that. It's kind of earthy.
Mm-hmm. It has a floral scent to it. You're gonna get hints of like a spicier scent when you start smoking it. It also has vanilla and coffee kind of in a mixture of it. And so what you're smelling right now is actually the wrapper of it. The insides are right there. This is all the filler in the binder, which is the outside is a leaf, and it's wrapped around another leaf, and then there's the binder inside of it, and all the filler. So each of them can be made up of different combinations of tobacco from different regions. This one is Ecuadorian and Sumatran for the wrapper of it. The binder is actually from Nicaragua, and then the filler is mixed from different tobaccos from different regions. So they all kind of come together to give a unique flavor to it. And a lot of times, no two cigars are really alike. They have them from different combinations, and there's pretty much infinite ways you can make a cigar. And I think that's really neat.
No, that's really cool. Because, they're not like, there's, with all those combinations and all of the possibilities out there, like, it is kind of mind-blowing when you think about it.
It is. And, like I said, you're not going to get any two cigars that are alike, really.
Yeah.
That are very similar, but you're going to get a different flavor palette from each of them. And, that's kind of something very interesting is once you develop your flavor palette, you pick them out a little bit more. When I first started smoking cigars, I honestly couldn't tell you the difference between something like this and like a Swisher Sweet. Now, I want to go back in time and just slap myself for, thinking that, because, Swishers are just garbage cigars. People like to smoke them, but they're filled with junk.
No, Swishers are what you tear apart in high school and dump the tobacco out of.
Yes.
Lols, if y'all got my joke. If y'all remember those days.
No, I don't know what you're talking about at all.
I would never know. I like to Nancy Reagan that shit. They used to call me Nancy in high school. What's up, Nance? Okay, I'm just kidding.
So, I wanted to show you a couple of the neat little tools you can get too.
Okay.
This is a cigar tube. It's just a basic tube. You can hold your cigar in there. It keeps it kind of fresh for you. You can travel with it. Makes it a little bit nice. It's kind of sleek. They're kind of nice to have. And obviously you need a lighter with them. Some people prefer matches. Some people prefer lighters. I happen to prefer my lighter, so that's what I usually go with. I was actually going to buy matches for this one. I know you bought matches.
See, I actually didn't find like the nice long matches or whatever, so I actually am gonna match you.
Ooh.
Because I found like I was cleaning my room and like just cleaning everything, just in my living area, and I found about 50 like different lighters, and I'm like, how did I accumulate this many lighters?
It happens. They just pop up out
of nowhere too, like.
Well, the thing is too, and lighters, a lot of people are going to look down on lighters because they do have a butane flavor. It does kind of take in the flavor a little bit of the cigar, and that's not as good. You do want to use matches or a torch lighter for them, which I actually have to get because I seemingly forgot my. But the butane can get into it. It'll, the lighter fluid leaves a little bit of a flavor to it. It's not the end of the world. Some cigar purists will freak out and go, "Oh, you're using a lighter. Shame on you." But
that's understandable because I can see what you're saying. You do get that butane in there if you're using a butane lighter, like a standard Bic like I have. And so I could see why people would argue it's better to use matches, but I don't see how it would impact it like astronomically.
And that's, some people, like I said, there are some people who are absolutely do not touch it with a lighter. You're a horrible person for it. And then there's some people who are just like, you know what, light it up and smoke it. It's not going to hurt you. It might make a little bit of an impact on the flavor, but overall, you're still going to get enjoyment out of the cigar because that's what it is.
Yeah.
So, give me one moment. We'll take a little break. I'm going to go get my lighter really quick, and I will be right back.
All right, cool deal.
And we're back. I don't know how I managed to forget my lighter, but I've got one. And these are a little bit better for something you want to use. It's just a torch lighter. You can't really tell the light on there, but they do help.
Yeah, so, I used to have a torch lighter back in the day.
They're nice. And they're not overly expensive. That's another thing too, with the price wise. You're gonna get people who say, "Oh, you gotta buy this $100 lighter for it, and that'll make it better." You can buy a lighter for $10, $5. You're not gonna kill yourself. It's not gonna make a difference. At the end of the day, it makes fire.
Yeah, I mean, it serves. There's functionality for purpose. Like, it's like buying clothes from Forever 21. Okay, like that shit's gonna fall apart in like 5 days. You know what I mean? So it's better not to buy it. Just invest a little more money, get something from the Abercrombie. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's relatively, it's a little more expensive, but you're going to get the bang for your buck. You can wear that shit for like 3 years and it'll still be good.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same kind of concept. You don't have to go spend $100 on a hoodie at, I don't know, some overpriced mall store. You don't have to go to White House Black Market and get, a jacket for $500.
Right. You can because it looks cool, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be that much more. It's a jacket. All right. So without further ado, do you have any more questions before we light this bitch up?
I don't.
Okay. Well, let's dive into it then.
All right.
So when you're going to cut it, you're going to look at the cap, and this is the cap of it.
I see the little, not perforation, but I kind of see that little.
You see the little line around, like a little bit below it?
A little bit. Like right here.
Yep, it's very, very, very fine.
Very light, yeah.
Right there. You want to cut just a tiny bit below that.
All right.
So you don't want to take off very much at all. You can see kind of where mine is at. And that's all you want to take off. And you want to do it on a vertical level. And you just rip around there and you squeeze.
I want to make sure mine is like.
You don't get it perfect. It's not the end of the world. It unravels a little bit. Kind of a pain, but ultimately, yeah, it's going to be a little bit stiff on there. Can you get it?
Yes. Haha.
Haha. Score. All right. So when we're lighting them, you're going to take it by the head of it, and you're going to hold it horizontally. A lot of people like to torch them down or on an angle. You want to do yours at a little bit of an angle, but not exact. And you don't touch the flame. Oh.
I'm sorry. I was
you
listening, so don't touch the flame. Hold it horizontally.
touch the flame to the cigar itself. You want to hold it very,
Like
very
you want like this part that you don't see to touch the cigar.
right. You don't want to touch the cigar with the
With
flame.
the flame.
Lightly toast it. And you'll get a nice little toast to it. And just enough to make it kind of black around the inside. And you can kind of see it starts to turn black on the bottom of it.
Yeah, mine is getting that a little bit.
Once it starts smoking a little bit, then go ahead and put it in your mouth. And you light it up and make sure you turn it, just rotate the cigar around as you're lighting it to get an even burn on it. Yeah, don't inhale.
Yeah.
Just lightly puff. You should see a little bit of flame coming off of it when you're getting it really good on.
I think I just got.
Is you lighting?
I think I'm lit. Almost.
There you go. Looks like you got some smoke going off of it. Give it a few pops and see if it lighten up. There you go. And you can also look at the bottom of it, look at the foot, and you can kind of see if it's lighting up a little bit too. All right, there we go. You got this. So yeah, just take a couple puffs and just make sure you're not smoking it like a cigarette, because that'll like completely blow out your lungs.
Oh God.
Yeah, hell yeah. Just light puffs on it, and
I'm getting a little unevenness, so I'm just gonna kind of touch this a little bit.
so a little trick I learned, and when you're doing it around there. So just sort of touch the lighter to the end that's not burning.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm like rotating it around the area that's not burning.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a little bit harder to get an even light on.
There we go. I think I got it.
All right.
There we go.
All right.
Got a good start.
Oh, you don't want to tap the ash off of it.
Don't tap. Okay.
Oh, it's like the opposite of a cigarette. You want to keep the ash going as long as you can. It's actually the measure of the quality of the cigar as well. If you can keep the ash burning on the cigar for as long as possible, that's the better quality of the tobacco on it.
And you said this was from Ecuador, the tobacco in this one?
The tobacco on this one is from Ecuador and Nicaragua.
Okay.
The filler of it, the actual tobacco that you're smoking in it, it's a mix of different regions. So you're getting different flavors from different areas inside of it. So just kind of puff on it and see if you can, kind of, pick out the flavors that you're experiencing.
It's definitely not an artificially grape swisher or like one of those, like, I don't even know what the flavor in Black and Milds are, but I remember
it's just garbage wrapped around.
Yeah, this is actually, it's kind of earthy. I kind of like it. It's kind of earthy, kind of feels kind of...
Yep, you're picking up a lot of, it's got that floral flavor to it, almost, the scents on it, it's like smelling a bouquet of flowers.
I like that it's not too heavy. Like, it's not, like, it's, for me, it's strong because I'm not accustomed to smoking cigars at all.
Right.
Being my very first one, but I mean, this is a good one for someone that's maybe their first one or one of their first few cigars. Like, I would recommend this.
Yeah. The color on it is actually what's known as a Colorado wrapper. Colorados are the second darkest of the wrappers you're going to get, so that makes it a little bit heavier. It's basically called what a Maduro is, and it's a little bit darker. And it's a little bit stronger than, say your lighter colors. And, it's not overpowering though. That's why I thought this would be a good one for you. Some of the darker cigars you get are really strong. And that's actually why I told you to make sure you ate beforehand. Because the stronger cigar you get, the more, pressure it puts on you. And if you don't have something in your stomach.
If you have nothing to anchor it down, then there's only one way to go.
Exactly. It's the same as drinking. If you drink on an empty stomach, you're just in for a long and awful night.
Or morning.
Or morning.
Or both.
Or midday. I mean, we've all been there too.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Right. And I'm still sick.
Oh my God, I can't get over that I actually did that.
That was epic.
That was, okay, so y'all don't know what we're talking about. So I went on this date and I brought fart spray because I was going to fart spray this date that I met on Tinder because I was like, let me make a fake Tinder account. And so I did, and I matched with a guy. He was actually really nice, but we went to these bars, and I was just really drunk, and I made this Snapchat that was like, ha ha ha, I'm a drunk fucking idiot.
Oh, so great.
I have that saved. I will send it to you so that you can insert that, because that is hilarious.
That is definitely something that everybody needs to see, because it was legendary. And those are the best kind of dates, it seems like, when you can just get drunk and go out and, you know,
Just act like a drunk fucking idiot. Be like Anjelica.
and not have to use fart spray all the time.
Yo. I need to make a video about the dude from the mall. Man, that was the most insane thing I think I've ever. I don't understand the world.
I don't either. I couldn't believe when you went to Sephora that they didn't have any type of reaction.
It's interesting because I called my mom. I told her about it, and she was like, "Wow, I'm surprised no one at Michael Kors reacted either."
Yeah.
Like the higher end up that you go, the more people just pretend it's not there because everything's nice and fabulous.
Mm-hmm. How dare somebody would fart in one of their stores? They can't acknowledge that.
A fart? No.
Yeah, I definitely want to do one of those videos myself and just go to Walmart and just walk up and just start doing it random spots.
Yo, I was so tempted to get one of those like 36 packs of the stink bombs.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would be so epic at Walmart. Like Best Buy, like the employees were like, "Oh man, that smells bad," and like that dude that was like, "That's not human." I highly recommend the fart pranks. Yes. They are the best.
And for those of you watching on my feed who don't know what I'm talking about, check out Anjelica's page, Anjelica Lynch on YouTube. Her videos are awesome and hilarious.
Thank you.
Just hours of entertainment just off of that. So we're smoking it down a little bit more. Are you tasting any more flavors in here, or is it just still the same earthy flavors that you get?
I'm kind of getting a lot of the earthy notes, of just a slight hint of the floral notes, not really too much, but it's nice. Like I just like that it's kind of like one nice solid. I'm picking something up, and I don't know what per se it is, but it's not overly complex with all these like different flavor notes.
Right. And
like it overwhelmed the senses, which I really like.
Yes, and I like that it does blend together very well. One thing that I always picked up from it, it has almost a peppery chocolate flavor to me. And, you know, it's something that you really got to kind of like, I think it's more as you burn down, I think it can get you a little bit better. But the first time I smoked it, I definitely got that. It's got that little bite to it, like if you just like bite a grain of pepper. But it also has like that chocolatey flavor to it.
Yeah, because when I puff on it, it's like you definitely get like a bite, but it's not like aggressive.
Right. And I've had a couple where it is aggressive, where you smoke that thing and immediately it's just like a punch right to the lungs.
Yeah, it's like from the cigar, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it catches you off guard if you're not prepared for it.
I feel like such an infant because I'm taking like little baby puffs.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. You don't want to overdo it, especially with your first one, because even if you are on a full stomach, it'll make you sick, even if, you're not.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're watching this and you are a cigarette smoker or a former cigarette smoker, I used to smoke a pack a day. So, and I did Marlboro Reds. So I was like,
yeah, you were serious.
Like, you really like cheap them down. So that's not something you want to do if this is your first cigar and you're accustomed to smoking cigarettes.
Right. And a lot of experts too that I've talked to and stuff say You can smoke them like that. It's not recommended for obvious reasons. But the main thing is, too, this is more of an enjoyment thing, whereas smoking a cigarette is more just to smoke it and get that nicotine fix and be on your way.
Yeah.
Well, this doesn't have all that crap in there that cigarettes do, so it's more about the enjoyment of the actual cigar. You get to enjoy the flavors. You get to enjoy it. It's like drinking a fine wine.
Yeah.
And that's why you see them so much with pairing with wines and whiskeys, because it's something you can enjoy while doing it. You know, and you don't want to smoke it too fast. You want to do a puff probably every minute and a half to 2 minutes.
Yeah, because you will blow out your lungs if you do it, like, if you're, like, chiefing it, like, you will have no lungs. They will be all blackened. You will be on a body's display.
Mm-hmm. And you're gonna sound like Mike Wazowski's boss and Oscar's.
Yeah. Or who are those ladies from The Simpsons that were like,
Oh, yep, Marge's sister's in there. Yep.
yes.
And you're just gonna be
Oh my god.
hating life and as much as they do. You're gonna move in with your sister and get cats and just hate on people.
Oh man, I would hate my life if that were me.
Not that I wouldn't mind living with my sister. I love you guys very dearly, but I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
So some other kind of notes that you want to kind of take into account when you're smoking. One thing is a lot of people like to chew on the caps. They want to chew on them a little bit. Some people do it they don't even smoke a cigar. They'll just chew on the cap and they just kind of get that, a little bit of flavor out of it. And that's fine. But when you're actually smoking on it, you don't want to, mess with it and just chew on it and everything. So that does take away from it all.
Yeah.
Another thing that I learned that I actually didn't know until just very recently that I was doing wrong was don't take off the band until you're about an inch away from the top of it.
Oh. Yes.
So,
I just took off the whole band.
it's okay if you do. It's not going to be the end of the world. But there is times when the glue from the band will seep into the leaf when you take it off, and that can affect the flavor a little bit. So they suggest not to do. I used to take it off immediately as well.
Yeah, because I just didn't know. I just thought I should just take off the band.
Right, and it seems like something when you're not sure, you just kind of look at it and you go, "Oh, I just pop this thing off," and
yeah, it's like the plastic. Like, oh, just take this off. Yeah.
Right.
But see, that's good info because I wouldn't have known that unless someone told me.
Exactly, and I was the same way. And I think I should actually probably also say, for your viewers and everything, I am not a certified expert by any means.
You're a connoisseur.
Yeah, I'm a connoisseur. I've been smoking cigars since I was 18, 31 now, so I mean it's been a while. But I haven't really gotten into the intricacies of actually smoking them until the past year or so. And the more when you actually start looking into stuff and start reading it, it's just amazing how much you don't know. I don't know a lot still. I am still very new and novice to it compared to people who have been smoking for 20 years and I've been doing it in the industry. So it's one of those things too. If you start up, you don't have to be an expert, but the more you smoke them and the more you learn about them, the more interesting it gets, in my opinion. And I just like learning about them.
I'm kind of liking how things really are coming together the more that, I'm not incredibly far down or anything, but I do like how things are coming together, the more that it's burning.
Right. And about halfway through, you'll notice that the flavors really start to kick into it, and you'll get more more interested. That's another mistake I've been making with my videos is I'll try to do a early review of it when I'm first smoking it, and you can get the good flavors. You can pick out if it's a good cigar or not, but you don't really know until it's far down. And I feel like I've cheapened my videos a little bit on that one just by not fully waiting for that. But you get to far enough down, you start getting different flavor. You start really deciding if it's something that you want. If it's something you're just like, I wouldn't buy it. Yeah, but this one, Rocky Patel, any Rocky Patels really, I have yet to have a really bad one. They're a really good brand. Everybody seems to really enjoy them. They're very popular. And, it's just a good cigar to go with.
Yeah. I'm only judging on this one, but if I were to solely base my experience on this one, like, I would go with a Rocky Patel again.
Yes. And that's great. They're a good brand. There are other brands out there that are kind of more controversial. The Gurkhas, it's a big brand. Honestly, most things I know them for are just they're cool bands. I have one that I really like. Really awesome. It's called the War Pig. Oh well, you can kind of see it.
Yeah.
The band on it, I think, is really cool, and they have a couple.
That band is that's pretty badass.
It is. Oh, here's the other one. This is the really cool one. This is from a cigar called the Beast, which just has a cool name to begin with, but the band on it.
That's nice.
Yeah, that thing is just so sick. But unfortunately, and a lot of people just are the same way, and they're not crazy about Gurkhas. They think that they're kind of trashy cigars and they're the lower quality ones. I actually think they're really good, personally. Again, that's one of the bigger things about, this hobby is don't let people tell you what they like. They might have their opinions, and that's great, but everybody has a different flavor.
Yeah.
So you're going to like some. Some people think that these are garbage, I'm sure. But
you can't, that is very true. No matter anything in life, like, I might have my opinions about what the best whatever is, and if someone were to tell me differently, I might think it's the best in the world. You might think it's garbage. So I think that is a good thing for any new, if you're trying cigars out, like, don't listen to explicitly what you're told by other people and go by what they say, because you might discover you might love the what was the name of the controversial brand?
Gurkha is what the brand is. That people are kind of
Madurka, yeah.
Gurkhas are very controversial. Some people love them, some people hate them. I enjoy them. I haven't really had one that I really dislike, but at the same time, they're not the best either. There's a cigar, and if you're ever checking them out, they are by far the best I've ever had. It's from a company called Caldwell, and the cigar is actually called Long Live the King. And that cigar is actually just amazing. The flavors on it, it's got like a sweeter flavor to it, and it's just all around just a wonderful cigar. And it's not too strong. It's lighter. It's a lot lighter than this, and it's just great. And honestly, that's probably my top one. And they're not even a huge brand.
Yeah. See, that's something I think I would enjoy because I have a sweeter palate. Like, I prefer. Like, I'm the kind of person that eats cake for breakfast every day. I'm not even gonna lie. Like.
Oh, that's
enthusiast Anjelica over here.
Yes, cake for breakfast and cake for lunch and ice cream for dinner because we're adults.
Yeah, we are adults. This is America. Okay, we're number one.
I thought this was America.
America. Hold on, let me try to. Here we go.
So yeah, I've gotten quite a few different ones. I collect my bands. That's another interesting hobby that people can do with this. You know, I have quite a few people do them in really cool ways, and that's just kind of a side hobby you can do for it. Ooh.
I thought. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, if this is your first time, okay, and you think that you're losing your puff, you're not. It's there. I just took a big old puff. I just took a big old inhale of it, and that's what caused that. Do not go full blown inhale on it when you think that the maybe puff has weakened. I promise you, it's still burning. It's still in there. You didn't lose it.
Right, you can tell if it goes out. Trust me, you don't have to over puff on it because that will hurt you in the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then once you really get into more of it, you kind of learn different little tricks. Some people can do the puff rings and everything. I can't do any of that, but
I never learned to do any of that. I've been out to go get hookah, and people would make bubbles and
yeah,
do whole smoke rings, and I'm like, how are you doing that? They're like, just do and I'm like, what kind of stupid idiot goes around and
I'm gonna practice my bubbles.
That's just something I feel like that's something that you would do to see if, I don't know,
people trying to make out with their smoke.
here, I'm gonna do the stupid thing I said not to do. Oh, why didn't it do it?
Can't do it either.
The curvature of your tongue will not produce smoke rings. If you know how to produce smoke rings, then comment down below. Let us know, because neither of us know.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it. I can't even blow bubbles with gum, so
That I can make little bubbles with gum.
can't do it. I end up spitting out the gum every time.
Oh, me too. That happens so much. Especially when you're trying to show off in front of somebody, and you're like, oh man, if you make a really big bubble, you're like, haha, watch this, and then you go.
Yeah, hitting them
Everywhere,
Sorry.
sorry. Won't try to impress you again. Ever.
My bad, fam.
Sorry, fam. I can almost do a somersault though, so hate
Right.
on me for that.
That's more than I can do. I would probably break a hip and a back and both my knees, and it'd be hard for hours.
One time I was trying to show out for myself at a trampoline park, and I ended up doing a front flip, and I landed right here.
Ooh.
Chiropractor visits very frequently.
I can only imagine.
I have not been to a trampoline park since then.
Yeah, I think my trampolining days are well over.
I used to have a little mini trampoline in my room to encourage me to exercise, because I feel like if I'm looking at the equipment, it encourages me to do it.
Right.
It's a good theory, but it doesn't work.
No. You end up just looking at it going, I'm not going to exercise with you.
I have a ball that I do crunches on for my crunches in my room,
Mhm.
I use it, but like not every time I look at it. Like my theory was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep it in my room and then I'm gonna use it every time I look at it and I'm gonna do 20 crunches. I'm like, I maybe do 20 crunches in a day. Like,
I think I've done 20 crunches in my life.
I think I haven't done a push-up since I was in martial arts. Like I was like in karate, like as a child. I don't think I've done a push-up since.
I used to be really good in shape because I wanted to be a cage fighter when I was younger. And yeah, it didn't work out very well for me. I got beat up a lot, and you know what? Maybe I can just stick to drinking and smoking cigars, and that's a lot healthier for me.
Obviously, yeah.
Right. Having somebody punch me in the face or ruin my lungs.
I mean that is a tough decision.
It is. And then you throw in the alcohol and bust up my liver too. It's not even really a choice.
Might as well like go ahead and compliment that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Just no, go hard or go home.
That's right. And
you're gonna destroy your lungs, might as well destroy your liver too while you're at it.
and the way I look at it, I'm less likely of a candidate for somebody to steal my organs and sell them on the black market because nobody's going to want these.
Yeah.
They'll open me up and go, oh, this poor gentleman. And they'll sew me back up and probably buy me some flowers and a sympathy card.
This poor soul. Bless his heart. For real, Jesus.
Weird, shriveled up black thing in where his liver's supposed to be.
I think we found the Grinch.
Which is fun because I actually dislike Christmas, so it actually works.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Christmas because I don't think, and I know this is a little sidetrack topic, but I don't think that we need holidays to pretend that we appreciate people because that's bullshit. Like, love, like, dude, love people every day. Like, let people know that you care about them every day. Like, don't wait for the next designated holiday. Like, don't be an asshole every day of your life and then magically when it's Valentine's Day go around and pass out fucking cards with like little packets of sweet tarts attached to it. Like, don't bust out the Reese cups, you know what I mean? Like, be a good person every day. I like you as a person. I don't need to send you a Christmas card every damn on a designated holiday.
Right.
You know,
if you don't have kids or anything, I mean, really, what's the point of Christmas at that point?
I think it's to make you feel like shit for not caring about people and for not spending money at giant retailers that want you to spend money.
I think that's definitely a part of it.
I mean, as a nation that's built on like consumerism, it's just one of those holidays that kind of guilts you into spending more money, or not guilts you, but it entices you to spend more. And it's like, I don't have any kids. I have people that I care about, but they know. Angelica cares about me, but Angelica's also a really broke bitch. So you know what?
Actually,
I love her anyway. I accept her for who she is.
I will send you a text saying, hey, you just keep being awesome. Merry Christmas. And that's about as far as I can get on it.
I mean, I will gladly, I have cards. Like, I send out cards and stuff. Like, I'll probably end up sending you a card. You know what I mean? But, like, I don't need it to be a certain holiday for me to tell you I think you're a good guy.
Right.
I can tell you that right now. I can tell you that next week. Like, I don't need a certain holiday to let you know. And then, like, I don't know, on April 13th or April 22nd, I don't need to be, like, super douchey every day in April to wait for whatever the next holiday is to invite you to I should have picked another month because I was going to use my 4th of July party that I don't have.
If you invite me to a 4th of July party in April, I 100% will be there.
I actually that would be a really great idea to throw a 4th of July party with my friends that don't exist. Because I am antisocial and I kind of dislike everyone.
Me too.
I hate people so much.
People suck so bad.
Like, as someone who has been a hairstylist, even though I look like a damn Pokemon with a side ponytail, okay.
That looks in right now, okay?
Yeah, so people can't hate on me because it's I'm trendy as fuck no matter what I do. Thank you. But I don't know, like, after years of like retail and just working with the public, you just kind of grow this disdain. Like, wow, please get out of my face.
Yes.
Almost nothing phases me anymore. Like, weird shit people do, I'm like, whatever.
People post stuff on Facebook and they're like, oh, I cannot believe something like this would happen. I'm like, really? Have you not been paying attention the past, I don't know, 50 years of what's going on? This shocks you?
Like, at this point, if you even just pay attention to the news, like, why are we shocked when certain things happen? Like, that just it doesn't make sense to me, really.
No. I saw a news report not that long ago where a guy broke into a convenience store after hours, and he peed in I think it was one of the aisles. And I was like, why is this news? Why are you shocked by this? I do this literally weekly.
I mean, some people do it, people do disgusting things in stores all the time. Like, yeah. A girl I was in cosmetology school with worked at a Target where a kid went into the dressing room and took a shit.
Oh my God. I've actually seen that. Worked in a department store where that's happened.
That's disgusting, but it's not shocking. If you have worked in retail, people are very gross.
It's more of just an annoyance more than a shock. Then somebody will come up to you and be like, yeah, somebody shit in the dressing room. Just wanted to let you know. And you're like, really? Again? Damn it, Tim. Stop it.
Damn it, Johnny.
Damn it, Johnny.
Damn it, Johnny. I hate my life. I'm 87 years old.
Why is she 87 and still working at a department store? Damn it, woman, retire.
Lady, you're the real MVP if you're doing that. If you're doing that, please hit me up. I'm Anjelica Lynch. Please send me your address. I'll send you a Christmas card if this is you. If you sound like this and can send a video proving that's how you sound and that you're employed at any department store anywhere in the country, I will send you a personalized card.
Oh man, you would go crazy down here. That's all there is old people working in department stores.
But you live in Florida, and people in Florida are kind of like, all the crazy shit like seems to come out of Florida.
That's where bath salts started.
That's where Flocka started.
Yes.
Not the rapper, but the
you might have as well.
Synthetic. But... Is Flocka really from Florida?
Yeah. I think that started in South Florida too. Bath salts, Flocka, and I think K2 I think is something that people do down here. I've never done any of this stuff, so I don't know, but
I've never done any of those. K2 I think started in Florida, and it used to be sold like in smoke shops, like even here.
Yeah.
Because I had a friend's mom like who had some and like gave some to us, and we put some in a bowl and smoke. Like, don't, no, just really.
Come on, people. If you're gonna do drugs, just stick to like marijuana and cocaine if you're running for office.
Because you will need that extra pep in your step to pretend you're a decent human being. Okay, I'm not gonna knock you for that. You want to come off like you got some personality?
All right, I can respect.
Some people are not as naturally like, charismatic. So you know what? I will not fault you for that. If a scandal, if a Dr. Phil exclusive comes out about you, homie, I will not judge you for 1 second. I'll
No.
be like, homeboy wanted some pep in his step, damn it. Like, leave him alone.
But, you get those crazy people who are doing bath salts and eating other people. I mean, that's not okay. What causes you to want to do that?
All right, so if I think it's out.
Okay, so if it goes out, the best thing you want to do is kind of tip the ashes off of it a little bit. You can get the ashes off there a little bit. Sometimes just kind of gently scraping across the surface, not like hard enough to damage it, but just enough to get that little ash off of there. And then just kind of toast it around the area that, around it, not necessarily on the tip, on the foot of it, just go around it. And it should smoke up pretty decently, and then you should be able to do it.
All right, there we go.
That's not the official way you're supposed to do it, but that's the best way I've found so far.
I mean, it works.
Yeah, it'll light it back up. It'll keep you going. So the longer this thing going down, I'm definitely tasting a little bit more into it. Are you starting to get like kind of that cedar flavor to it?
A little bit. I wasn't able to like identify it, but now that you say it, because I was getting a little bit.
It's got almost like a cedar chip flavor to it.
God, my hands are like frozen. It's like negative 20 degrees.
Yeah. I understand.
Kidding. Probably like 30 something.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It's like probably 60 here. Not okay with it.
I would gladly take something in the 60s. I'm from Southern California, so I'm not really a big fan of that. All this cold.
I'm from Michigan, so I understand the whole cold and hatred for snow. And
yeah, I liked it as a kid, but as an adult, gotta say, not a fan.
I was one of those people as a child, like I was never like an actual child. I was always kind of an old man when I was younger. Groaning and moaning because I had to get up and go to school and deal with people. And
oh God, I hated school.
Oh, it's horrible.
Dude, in middle school, there was a kid, and this kid.
There you go.
We're back. So,
like, bro.
Don't do that, you guys. Don't be like me. Don't be like me after I just did it. No, there was this kid, and he would like always talk shit about me, and I was like, I really want you to keep talking. It would deeply, deeply, deeply satisfy me. And this kid would talk shit every day about me, like literally behind my back, and be like, okay, so, and this was a kid that had physically attacked me in the past, and I was like, please just please keep on. So that bell rings for for after school for the buses, and I'm like, bam, and I'm like swinging like left and right at this kid, and I didn't care. I mean, shit, they're like, we're gonna call your parents, and I was like, this is the number.
Hey, call them.
I was like, go ahead and call. Like, oh, well, they're not gonna. They didn't care.
Right. Be sure to tell him I whooped his ass too. Ooh. Light.
I'm not low key dying. Low key dying.
Or if anybody is in her area and knows need assistance.
Y'all, don't do that. Don't do that.
That's light puffs.
Yeah, do not do what I just did. I know that's why you shouldn't do it.
Do the Bill Clinton way and do not inhale. Honestly, what keeps me from doing it a little bit better, and some people might say it's wrong, but I say it's okay. When you go to put it in your mouth, just gently let out a little bit of air, just kind of light blow, and that'll keep you from inhaling, and then just puff. A little bit better.
A little better, yeah. I'm glad I got it relit though.
Yeah, sometimes when they go out, they do not like to relight for some reason. I don't know particularly what that is because it's been with different types of cigars all around. But once they go out, they can be kind of a pain to light up. And if you notice the ash on mine a little bit, it's definitely more of an even burn. Yours is too.
Yeah.
One of the pluses about a cigar like this is that's a good quality sign right there. It's an even burn and it'll hold down. Mine would have more of an ash on there, but I kind of bumped my arm and knocked it all off. But this is definitely one of the better quality cigars out there. I'll swear by Rocky Patel until they kill me. But and that's the beauty of it too. And that's another misconception about cigars is people will say you smoke one and it's like the equivalent of 5 or 6 cigarettes, and it's just not true. Like, and you coming from being used to being a smoker, do you feel like the same as you would after a cigarette? Don't you feel a little bit lighter, a little bit better from it?
Yeah, like this is not like smoking like 5 or 6, like chaining them in a row.
Right.
Like it's a lot lighter. It's a lot smoother. It's just a lot more enjoyable, and it's something you can savor versus chaining down a bunch of like Newports at lunchtime in high school.
Oh man, that brings back memories.
Yeah, I had to throw that like little throwback memory in there.
Man. I think everybody can relate to that.
But not now, because the great people from the Truth Campaign and all the blackened lungs they take you to see in elementary school. Did you ever see that in elementary school?
We had what was called DARE.
We had that too.
Yeah, they don't do it anymore because it turned out to be a colossal failure and a waste of money. But they used to show us like the videos that would have pictures of lungs that had been smokers 20 years and showing us all that nasty stuff, and just like I'm not worried about that.
I mean, and you're showing it to like 5th graders. Like for me, I was in Catholic school at that age, and we had someone from the police department in my city, and they'd come and they would like show us these videos about how happy like sober people were, and then they would show us like, and they were all animated, so we would see like the misery in the eyes of the people that were on drugs. It was just like,
and now that we're older adults, we've come to realize that it's the exact opposite.
yeah. Like I hate those people that are so straight-laced and they're like, I don't even drink coffee because I'm such a health enthusiast. Instead, I use my morning for mindfulness.
And
I am healthier than thou and eat broccoli every meal.
I am a vegan. I don't know if you know what veganism is, but
okay. So I choose not to eat eggs and drink milk and things like that. And I don't really eat like red meat, but it's not because I'm holier than thou. It's just honestly because those foods kind of freak me out a little bit.
Sure.
And I just don't really care for eggs that much, really. I'm not saying I won't eat them, but it's like something I just don't I wouldn't pick. So I just, like, if you have any kind of lifestyle that is great for you, and that's awesome for living the way you want, but like, it's like I equivocate that to like the Jehovah's Witnesses or people that come to your door. Like, dude, can you just please fuck off? I don't care about joining the temple or joining whatever the fuck. Go away.
I'm not going to do that. I enjoy, all the things that you're against way too much.
Yeah, like I will drink wait, no, it's the Mormons that don't drink soda.
Yeah.
But
Which
I don't drink a lot of soda either, but it's like, you know what? If I want to drink a soda, I'm going to do it.
Right.
Okay, sir. Okay, I know you're a lot holier than me, but I don't know.
You might go to heaven, but when I go to hell, I'm going to have cigars and scotch waiting for me. So just deal with that.
Yeah, like, you can go do your little morning yoga without, you can go do your like little morning yoga and workout at 2 a.m.
Yes.
and brag about it.
Fun story, I actually got kicked out of a yoga studio for smoking a cigarette once.
Are you being serious?
I am dead serious. A friend of mine, this is when I actually smoked cigarettes, and a friend of mine wanted me to go to yoga, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll do that, because I was young and stupid and thought I was flexible, which turns out I'm
exploring new things. I mean, being agreeable and open to try things is good.
Yeah, this did not end well because I was doing like the downward facing dog and somebody thought there was a fire, so they all started panicking, and I kind of lifted my head up and here's a little cigarette just hanging out of my mouth. They're like, yeah, you need to leave like now.
I actually don't enjoy yoga. People are like, oh, it's so relaxing, and I just wait the whole time. I'm like, damn, is this shit over? Like,
Right? Like I could be at home not doing yoga.
like I could be like at home, like in my bed or like on, enjoying my life.
Yes.
Not in these uncomfortable ass positions that you claim are so therapeutic for me. Like, am I going to win a therapy button or something? Like,
Right. Am I
do
gonna
I
live?
have a gold star?
And if that works for you guys, then great. I'm happy for you. But
Yeah, no hate for anybody that's watching this that does yoga. I mean, I'm sure it's great for some people, and that's why there's yoga enthusiasts. And then there's people who pretend to like yoga for Instagram.
yes.
If you're one of those, I don't knock that either. Do what you got to do for the gram. Flex off for social media. That's cool. But I mean, I'm personally just not going to pretend I like something just to post about it.
Right. That sounds.
That's stupid. Look at me, guys. I can stick one. I can do this, you guys.
I think I can lift my leg about to here. Nope. That's about as far as it's going. Too old for yoga. I'm not doing it.
I mean, I guess I can see why, like, people think it's so zen and all this other stuff. And it has a lot of cute little hashtags you can tag, but
Ultimately, it's not going to be fun.
yeah.
All right. So, what are
More strong cedar flavor now that I'm further down.
what kind of flavor are you getting?
It's more cedary, like, the farther I'm going down.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of enjoy that. Like, it's becoming a little more bold, but it's not too much.
I always, when it gets to this point, I always kind of liken it to sitting around a bonfire. You know, kind of that, that smoke flavor that you're kind of getting to it.
Yeah.
Kind of nice. It's, that, reminiscent type flavor, and I always like that. This is definitely a good hanging out with your friends, having a couple of beers, sitting around the campfire.
This is great for that, actually.
And there are some where, you're more of, I'm going to sit around, I'm going to drink coffee with mine. There are a couple like that. And there are a couple where you want to sit in a bar and have a couple of glasses of whiskey or a beer and kind of socially with that. And, then they're like these where you sit around and have fun with people with it.
Yeah, this is the kind of cigar I would definitely take on a trip or, go, sit around a campfire, go like, this is a good, I think, group cigar. Like if you wanted to get with your buddies, drink a few beers, like I could definitely go for something like this.
Absolutely. So, kind of wrapping it up here because my phone I think is going to die very, very soon.
Oh, mine too.
Yeah, stupid iPhones. So what are kind of your final thoughts about cigar smoking in general? Is it something, do you see yourself doing another one sometime, or is it just a one-time thing, or?
I would actually like to get maybe another type of, like something that evokes a different feeling. It's definitely nothing like a cigarette.
Right.
You definitely don't want to smoke these the same. I like the way that all the flavors blended, and now I'm getting more hits of cedar, and it's more bold the further down you go, and you notice the blend. It's very gradual, but I kind of like that you can camp on this, and cigar smoking is definitely something that I would try again. Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah, and honestly, it's fun. It's a fun little hobby. Like I said, I've been kind of getting into it more and more the past year or so. I've been smoking, like I said, since I was 18. My brother took me on my 18th birthday to this little shop in the worst part of the neighborhood, and it was like an awesome shop. And he had me buy a really nice cigar. I don't remember the brand of it, and then he let me pick my own out. I'm like an idiot. I picked a chocolate one.
I can't see myself enjoying one of those, like a chocolate one. I don't know.
It didn't even taste like chocolate. It tasted like, I don't know, it's like if somebody took like a candy bar and wiped it around an ashtray. That was kind of the flavor I was getting out of that. Yeah, it was not good. I have found since then that you can buy cigars like this and you get like a chocolatey flavor to it. And, that's always nice to have just that hint of it. You don't need a flavored cigar. People who smoke swishers, the proper way, not the way that they are more
Not
often.
the way that high schoolers do.
Right. I'm talking people who actually buy them to smoke them. I feel like they're just missing out on something really good by getting actual cigars.
Yeah, like this is legit. Like this is something I could see myself, like, you can camp out on this. Like it's great. And like the flavor is so, like, I like that it builds. Like, and it's not something that's like,
right.
It's good.
Yeah. And there are some that aren't like that will hit you really hard. And there's some I've had a couple where I don't even need to drink, and I'll just smoke that, and I'll get a hell of a buzz off it. Like, I don't even need to drink, and I'll be just after smoking. So the key thing, though, is just find something that you like, but don't stick with that. The biggest piece of advice I've been given was try a whole bunch of different kinds. You might find one that you like, and that's great. You can always go back to that one, but keep trying other ones because you might find something you like better. And, it's part of the fun of it. I have a goal in mind. I want to try every cigar in the top 10 of, I was going to try Cigar Aficionado's list, but apparently their list this year was just garbage. So I'm kind of going off of other people's lists on there. I'm just going to try the top 10s out of those. And, we're just going to try some new ones and see how that goes.
Yeah.